This is an interesting Excel malware sample because it decrypts its own formulas. We start our analysis from the auto-open entry point and we notice that the first formula sets the W86 cell based on a time-based value. Afterwards, it uses the value of the W86 cell to decrypt multiple characters. It joins the decrypted characters together and uses the formula function to store the result to a specific cell. Since Excel formulas start with an equal sign, we can calculate the correct value for the W86 cell by taking the value of the first encrypted cell and subtracting the ASCII value of the equal sign. The result is 247. We could also have brute forced the value using Python. In this small script, we simply iterate over a number of possible values for the W86 cell, set its value, emulate the decryption of a formula, and print out the result. Looking at the output, we can see that for the value 247 we have the correctly decrypted formula. So we now set the correct value for the W86 cell by editing its formula. Having done that, we can just execute the various formula functions and follow the goto functions. Before jumping to the decrypted code, the malware hides the current sheet. We can now analyze the decrypted code. The malware first does some checks on the environment and if not satisfied with the results, closes the workspace. It then exports a registry key and saves it to disk. It waits 3 seconds and then opens the exported key file. It searches for the value 0001 at a specific position and if it finds it, closes the workspace. This checks the policy of Microsoft Excel for the execution of macros. The value 0001 means that all macros should be allowed without a warning. The malware assumes that only a sandbox would allow the execution of all macros and hence closes the workspace. If this check is passed, the malware uses URL download to file to download a malicious payload. It then tries to open the downloaded file. If it succeeds, it alerts the user of an error to avoid suspicion. It then uses run-dll to execute the downloaded payload. Finally, it closes the workspace. If the payload was not downloaded, it tries to download the malicious payload from a different URL. It then repeats the same steps as before, alerts the user, executes run-dll, and finally closes the workspace.